time, your gateway to the world. A-F-R! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy freaking Valentine's Day. Or VD Day, rather. Okay, just kidding. No cynicism allowed here tonight at Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight, and hope you had a lovely day, because we're just going to screw it all up for you. With Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach and the author of one of my favorite books, Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, which you can find at soulcounseling.com. You can also go to courseofawakeningseminars.com to find out where he's going to be speaking next, because, I don't know, after tonight might be the last time you hear him here.
Christie, I have figured it out. Watch. Mute.
Yeah.
Unmute. Mute. Unmute. I've learned the mute button. Please don't fire me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and actually, no, we have something super special in store for you tonight. Tobias, for those of you who don't know, is also a singer, songwriter, guitarist, and he has an album out. I found out. I have no idea where to find it, but he decided he was going to sing a cappella for us tonight. One of his songs, it starts off something like, "It's just another false bliss." Has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, though. I'm sorry. I'm a jerk.
We will share some songs sometime, but, a cappella, are you kidding me? It's not happening.
I told you I'll do backup. Dooby-doo-wop, doo-ba-da-bop-bop-ba. I don't know if that'll go with your metal, though. Tobias sings heavy metal. Can you guys believe that?
The one I shared with Christy today, we're talking about plastic. We're talking about doing another show here on American Freedom Radio, the Christie and Tobias show, like we mentioned, where we would be a little even more looser and playful with no specific topics except guests, and also kind of processing the news going on out there in the major mainstream, crazy, lying, upside down, backwards, hiding stuff media. And so anyway, talking about that stuff, somehow we come up with, I don't know how we ended up with, one of my songs is called, I Want the Plastic Gods to Love Me, and so I played some of it for Christy and blah, blah, blah. So then she said, I'm going to out you on the show. So, yeah, I'd love to record, actually have, be able to record them well enough. It takes a lot of time. I got some on YouTube. I got 4 nice, sweet, spiritual songs on YouTube. Those are all nice. And, the I Am the Black Metal Christ, those type of songs, we're not quite ready for yet. I do have a song called I Am the Metal Christ. Yeah, I do.
Nice.
And some other ones as well. What's another one? Living and Dying in L.A. Yeah, stuff like that. It's therapy. It's great therapy. I recommend it to everybody. Just start writing and singing and doing your thing. When I was going through my, quote, one of my dark nights of the soul, as we call it, those wake-up things in your life that shake you, walk through your wall and smash through your wall, grab you by the neck, kick your girlfriend, woman, wife, partner out of the house, make you go bankrupt, get you fired, and you're like, what happened to my life? Yeah, I was in one of those phases of my life, which is really how God does it. God is very loving, very sweet. He wipes out all the artifice in your life. And one of the things that happened was I played guitar a little bit, but all of a sudden it's like, wow, there's this whole new level of write your own stuff. You want to heal yourself? Write your own stuff. Do your own stuff, So, yeah, that's what I did for a few years. I'd sit there. Remember I had this guy who I picked up hitchhiking, Robert, looked total biker guy, half his teeth missing, the long beard. Real biker guy, not fake biker guy.
Mm-hmm.
And God told me one day, I'm driving down the street, and he says, pick that guy up. Okay, I'll pick him up. And later Robert told me, he said, he ended up doing some work at my house. I needed some tiling, and we knocked out some walls and stuff, and he knew how to do all that stuff. And this guy literally, anyway, he spent a lot of time in jail. He was a biker. And, but him and I connected on some ancient level, like old pirate friends or something. I remember him being at my house, my townhouse, and he was working there. And then I remember I said, wait, I'll be right out. You know, I'm going to give him a ride because, of course, his license and the police helicopter said he can't drive anymore. So anyway, long story. And then he comes out and he says, I come out back out, and he says, I think I scared your neighbor, like one of those single women living in there. Right? The doctor, the woman that works at the hospital who's like 35, you know. And there's Robert out there looking like, you know, one of the Kentucky headhunters or the guys that are on, like, Duck Dynasty with that giant beard. And he probably just said hello to her, and he said, yeah, she kind of ran off, and I think she got scared.
Aww.
Robert used to work at the house. I used to close the doors. He'd be outside tiling the patio, and I would crank up the music and play some of the songs, and he'd be like, yeah, I really like that stuff, you know. And one of them is living and dying in L.A. I can't be thin enough in L.A. I don't feel rich enough in L.A. It's just me and my friends, me and my sycophants, living and dying in L.A. Yeah, it's heavy metal stuff, but fun. It's therapy. So it would be great sometime to play some of that stuff. But
we should have a rock and roll show. I mean, why not? It looks like you already have some volunteers that can put in some tracks with your music. He says, and even some vocals. All right. And I got a piano sitting here. Let's see. Do we have a bassist and a drummer out there?
The drummer, that's all I need. And a bass player if they want to play along. That's great, too. It'd be fun. Yeah, that's true romance. True romance, man. Romancing your own soul. And all these talents, these fun things erupt out of us. The ancient shamans, the Inuit shamans say, and somehow the new voice comes. Somehow the words rise up by themselves, and a new song is born. And that's what happens when you get into the creative state. It rises up by itself and comes forth from you. And you have your song. We all have our songs, whether it's poetry, painting, dancing, whatever it is, playing, writing, playing music. And here's the secret. We all have all those talents. We all have all those talents. Some of them are just sleeping.
We just got a bassist. Look at that. All right. That's over at the chat, souljourneysradio.com. They're asking you shall receive. We got a bassist for you.
Cool. I'm in.
All right. That would be fun to do one day, huh? Just rock out and don't forget, you know, I mean, it might take a little work, or it might not sound as good as it does to us, given that we're kind of on a delay, and we might be a little off key and off the beat here, but I think we can make it happen.
No. We just record it. You know, nowadays you just send the tracks to each other.
Nah, you got to do it live.
Yeah, that's going to sound great. It's like, here, speak to this tin can. We want to hear the nuances of Pink Floyd, but this tin can with a string, it'll sound great. Yeah, it's not going to
Probably not. Okay, all right. Well, that's enough fun for tonight.
Thanks for doing that, Christie.
I'm sorry. Oh, Matt, you know what, though? I mean, yeah, well, okay, it is V-Day. Doesn't that sound like a disease to you?
It sounds like war and, yeah, V-Day. Wasn't that like the end of World War I or something, or two? V-Day, V-Day.
Started with D-Day, ended up with V-Day. I don't know, but yeah, we're going to talk about that relation.
Hey, wait! Before you go there,
I'm breaking up with you now. God damn it!
I'm putting up with you. You said the GD word. Woo! We got Chris to say the GD. That's amazing, Christie. I don't know exactly your details, but I think you came from a very somewhat, or at some point in your life, a religious background. So right there. Thousands of angels were set free from bondage by you just doing that. They are Yeah, they are excited.
G-Day, V-Day, D-Day, it's all the same thing.
All right, now everyone's getting a taste of what the Christie and Tobias show would be like. What we just did, first 12 minutes here, is what the show would be like. And then we would go...
Wasted that much time?
Yeah, and then we would... Well, then we would have a guest, God bless them, hope they'd be all right. And...
That would actually be kind of scary. I don't know. What do you guys think on the chat?
Yeah.
Would you want to come on to a show with both Tobias and I grilling you?
No, we would alternately muzzle the other one to make sure we're behaving is what would happen.
Good cop, bad cop.
Exactly. Be like, I'd talk you out of it, during the break. You'd be like, I'm going to ask him this. They're just, oh, my God, I can't take it anymore. I go, no, let me talk to him. So, yeah, exactly. And then if I go off and I'm about to throw up in the corner, you'll go, okay, I'll handle it the next 3 minutes. We'll be fine. The Christie and Tobias show, unpredictable. Absolutely, yeah. Bringing real spirit, real truth. All this, and we do some news, too. Like, come on, the cruise ship today, the Chris Dorner thing with his cabin being burnt up in Big Bear and what that went on. To do some actual unfiltered honesty about things that the mainstream media is covering without attacking so much or being so angry at it, but rather just let's look at the truth, the deeper truths about it. That's what I'd like to do. And then have guests on and have it be, the Christie and Tobias show. I'm in. Find us a slot. I'd like 3 hours would be great, or 2 hours at night, any time of the week. I'm in, Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, the shock therapy and truth-telling would be quite a stretch from what we're doing here now, right?
It would just be a little looser, a little less me actually having to pretend or do anything.
Oh, so we would be equal. Yay! I like that.
Exactly.
Okay. I have no idea what we're doing here tonight, but we are going to have some fun as we delve into the topic of relationships, as Tobias calls them, real-ationships, the hardest thing on the freaking planet. Tobias is going to teach us how to express feelings 101 without blaming or attacking your partner. Woohoo! You know what? I like blaming people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then I don't have to take responsibility for anything. It's it's much better, easier to blame you.
Yeah, the government's fault. It's my boyfriend's fault. It's my wife's fault. It's my teacher's fault. It's my parents' fault. It's God's fault. It's God's fault. Let's be honest. God messed the whole thing up.
Totally.
What kind of God would create a world like this? Come on, it's obvious. God is a sadist, masochist, or if not, she's a complete incompetent. Let's be honest.
Definitely. Well, one of the things you said, Tobias...
Yes. I hope people get that that's satire, but not everyone would if they were just tuning in. But yeah.
We never joke.
We need to blame people. Come on. Blame. Let's get out and just blame everybody. It's whatever group. It's the terrorists' fault. It's Arabs' fault. It's the oil company's fault. It's women's fault. It's men's fault. It's Catholics' fault. It's the Pope's fault. It's the bishops'. It's, feminists' fault. It's
Tobias's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's your fault. It's everybody's fault. If people... It's everybody's fault, damn it. If they would just be just like me, everything would be perfect.
Definitely. Absolutely. If everyone was exactly like me, actually it would be boring as hell. Yeah. And probably kind of difficult and chaotic. Wait, where are you living that?
On one of the YouTube videos. This is how schizophrenic we are, right? We're like... If everyone was just like me, everything would be great. And, of course, we're crazy. We're schizophrenic, divided humans, Jekyll and hiding, right? I had a guy literally write yesterday on a video on YouTube where I'd say ancient shamans and Hopi star people, something like this is the name of the video, which I recorded up at Moncuppy Village after I'd been up on the land there. Well, he's a Cree Indian. I think they're in Canada, the Crees. And he writes... I believe in my people's teachings of respect and the 4 directions. That's what I believe in. You're a New Age idiot. I'm like, wait a minute. There was like, I think, 12 words between you saying you believe in respect from when you flipped into Dr. Hyde, Jekyll and Hyde, and called me a New Age idiot. And so that's a perfect one. So he's like blaming me. It's your fault, you crazy white people, right?
Blue-eyed devil. And
I wrote him back, and I said, you know, I actually had a Cree, a young man who is Cree, half Cree, and part of the nation, and he's on the rosters or whatever they do. And he came down from Canada and came out with us to Hopi Land. And he had the most sort of blessing, the most spirit guidance of anyone I've ever taken up to Hopi Land. When we went out to Blue Canyon, this amazing canyon, you can look at Sacred Hopi Canyon on YouTube and see this. These hoodoos and formations are like soft. They're almost coming to life. It's just amazing. And when we went out there, he just intuitively kind of crawled up a little crevice, and a giant piece of pottery, I mean, it must have been 5 by 6 inches, you know. He just pulled it out of the...
Tobias left off with his 5 or 6 inches. We'll get to the rest of that after these few short minutes. Stay tuned, everyone. We really will get to the topic, I promise you. Stay tuned. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And, we left off talking about Tobias's 5 or 6 inches. Okay, just kidding. No more joking aloud.
That's
we are
unbelievable.
You should stand in line. Okay, no, seriously, we're going to get real here. It's Valentine's Day, and
good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay.
Unmute. Mute. Yeah. Unmute. I'm just still learning.
Toby, you've really come a long way.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Remember when we first used to do these shows? I would never remember like what we used to talk about before the break. I mean, it would be like a funny joke. Remember that?
Continue. What are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. We started taking notes.
Yeah. And then now I actually remember where I left off before the break. So this Cree Indian young man, Native American, see, all those rules. Who cares? I'm up there at Hopi Land, and God has guided it. 2 eagles show up for the guy that's our guide, and he says, "Oh, you're special." And I'm like, "I know I'm special. I come in on the special bus, right?" And so they take us to all these places now, behind the scenes. And it is true. I do respect the Kachinas, of course. And they respect me, and I talk to them. So this Cree man, young man, he finds this huge piece of pottery. No one finds big pieces like that anymore. Mm-hmm. Like little pieces, right? I mean, this is ancient Hopi. This is where they lived before they went up to the mesas. It's like sacred land. They're thinking of closing this area off to visitors permanently. And we're in there. So I write, I write back to the man who says, you're a New Age idiot. And I said, well, you know, I've taken 3 people up there, and they've had the favor, the grace of spirit when they've been there. Our guide, our teacher, our friend who was with us looked at that huge piece of pottery and said, I've never found one like that. And we put it back in place and covered it up and all that and did this little ceremony thing that was totally favored by someone. So here, from the Cree Nation, it was a homecoming for him, an honoring, and he was a young guy working the tar sands up in Canada. It was beautiful. And then someone from that nation will attack me because I'm a blue-eyed devil look, you know. It's that judging each other by surface that we've got to stop, you know. There's so many millions of us now on the planet that we want the same thing. We want something reconnected, you know, something real. And anyway, that's what I talked about before the break, so I finished that. And we're going to talk about relationships, yes. The hardest thing, one thing on the seminars, the Course of Awakening seminar.com, or just go to courseofawakening.com, scroll down, click on the seminars. We're going to be doing more and more. Over the last 4 or 5 years, I do a few, maybe 2 or 3 a year, you know, but now Spirit is saying these are going to go bigger, and we're going to be doing more traveling around the world, country, blah, blah, blah. So often when I start those, or during the seminar, I find at some point there's people that come, usually some have relationships and some don't. And I usually have some fun with playing with those that don't have relationships, and I go, you know, I say the hardest thing on the planet is to have a relationship. You know, yay for you that are still trying it, right? And the rest...
Stupid.
And then the rest of you are wimps.
Oh, wait a minute. What if it's the other way around?
No, it's not.
The ones afraid to stand alone.
Sometimes that's too. See, it depends on where you're at in your journey, right? Sometimes it is, yes, of course. In the beginning, it's, I can't be alone. Like, I can't believe people, they've been married 30 years and they get instantly remarried after it's like, what? Did you not take any time to process this? I mean, generally, for every year of marriage, you should take a month. That's usually what it takes as a rule of thumb or whatever. If you've been married 30 years, it might take you 30 months. You could do it quicker, but to purge it, to heal this thing that went on, you know. And some people just rush off into a new relationship. Yeah, obviously they need to learn how to be alone. There's people like that. Oh, you know, and that means you're not facing your own stuff. You're not willing to look at yourself. You want to get entangled with someone else in a codependent, dysfunctional relationship so that your subconscious can then project the crap, the blame game, onto the other. The other. Always blame the other. So, yeah, some people need, the first evolution is, I have no idea what I'm doing. We're doing a relationship. I know I'm strangely attracted to this other person thing, sexual energy, and then you hurt each other and it blows up, and then you start getting semi-conscious and you rush right back in, and you have, you know, if you have relationship after relationship, you're obviously needing to go time out. I need some time to figure out who I am, what's going on here. Then you go back into relationship. Then you have the courage to go back into relationship, and that's a different type of relationship.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. I'm a wimp.
No, I don't think you're a wimp. There's a right time. There's a right time in a soul's evolution to spend years or 10 years or decades not having a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. See, it all has its right place. You know, but I just joke about it sometimes. Who here has a relationship? You guys are brave. The rest of you are wimps.
Thanks. All right. Well, you know what? While you're at it, you also said that monks, ETs, and angels are wimps. So what's up with that? Why don't you just bash us all right here, right now?
For that exact same reason. Exactly.
Okay. No, I see it. Relationships are good. And even if you're not in a romantic relationship, so to speak, you know, everybody's in some type of relationship, no?
Well, yes.
Business, work, neighbors, family, I mean...
Exactly, sure. That's why all that stuff shows up dysfunctionally. That's why every reality show... What's every reality show about on TV? Dysfunctional crap.
Yeah,
meaning
like someone.
it's all about egos and hurt and arguing and fighting. Every reality show is about emotional fighting. Think about it. Every reality show is about emotional fighting, emotional conflict. How's that? Emotional conflict with other people. Every one of them. What? Jersey Shore? I can't even watch that thing. That one is my limit. You know, but like what? The Housewives of Beverly Hills and Timbuktu and Atlanta. All it's ever about is, why didn't they come to my party? I'm upset with them now. That's all it's about. Every reality show is about emotional drama conflict. Why? Because that's what we need to learn.
Isn't it amazing that we can do it on TV, but when it comes to real life, we'd rather run?
What do you mean? On these shows, they can't do it. It's lawsuits. The Beverly Hills Housewives, they're all suing each other. People are dying.
Really? Okay, I've never seen any of them, but the few reality TV shows I have caught, like on Netflix and stuff, they actually, they seem pretty good at conflict resolution. Like I said, I have not seen any of the ones you mentioned, but I've caught like maybe 2 episodes of a reality show, and like they duke it out, and then they kiss and make up, or like Desperate Housewives, for example. It wasn't a reality show per se, but at the same time it really is. And I ended up I watched that just a few months ago on Netflix because actually you inspired me, Tobias. You
to watch Desperate Housewives? Are you kidding?
Brought it up on the show a few times, making fun of it, and I'm thinking, well, I haven't seen TV in 8 years, so let me just turn it on and so I can understand in the collective what's going on and see if I can relate to it. And I have to tell you, I was impressed. I was totally blown away. I mean, there's women like blowing up other women's houses over men or things like that, and they still find a way to work it out and make up, and they're all buddies and having dinner again, and I'm like, damn, that's some pretty impressive conflict resolution skills.
Honey, that's a scripted show.
No.
I know. But
we could learn from that, really. I mean,
I hear you.
But I'm that big to invite someone who burned my house down and all of my belongings over into my new home again and be friends with them, and I don't know. Probably not.
The shows I was actually referencing, I think is, what do they call them? The Rich Housewives, or not the of Atlanta or Beverly Hills or Miami.
Well, if you get the name, I'm going to look it up on Netflix just to know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. All those shows, it's all about emotional, who erupts and talks bad about everybody else. This is the emotional healing. That's all we're fascinated with, whether it's Survivor, it's all about intrigue and emotional betrayal and
competition, betrayal.
Pissed off at that's all the shows are about. Drama.
Yeah.
Emotional drama, trauma, and karma. I'm not saying that's wrong, that's what they're about. But notice that is what the collective wants to watch.
Yeah, because we don't want to experience it ourselves. We'd rather, feel these unnatural, and I mean, obviously they're natural if we're feeling them, but experience emotions unnaturally or vicariously through other people, even if they are fictional.
Yes, and our souls also know that is what we need to go back to. It's like a scab, it's like an itch, it's like a wound that the dog keeps going back to lick.
Yes.
Right? We go back to it because that's what we know we need to fix, to heal, to get balance, to figure out, you know? Yeah. So, and that is also what gives the juice of life, emotions. Emotions, energy in motion. So that's what we like. Whether it's the guys going to the hockey match, they want to see the fight, right? It's
emotions.
It's emotions. It's energy, true emotion, whether it's rage or grief. Actually, we're more fascinated, feel it, we're more fascinated, quote, with the dark emotions, rage and grief, huge sadness, grief, betrayal, grief, right? Grief and rage. But joy, we're not that excited about joy collectively. Yeah. They got all we talk about it, bliss and ecstasy. No. What fascinates us is we are like ambulance watchers of the collective. We really are.
It's another boring success story. Give me the drama.
Yes. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because what that is simply is like the princess and the pea. It's the thing it's our irritant. We haven't fixed our emotional bodies yet. We haven't allowed them to have healthy expression with each other. So therefore we are fixated on them, and we are repeating that class over and over and over again. And it reflects in our culture, in our media, the recent State of the Union that Obama just did. Yeah. It's some guy that's the president of the country. And so then the response to that was by Senator Rubio, young Cuban immigrant parents, son of Cuban immigrants, Republican, gave the response. Now check this out. His whole talk, the whole news the next day, or a big chunk of a fascinated part, was that he, in the middle of his talk giving that response, he reached over somewhat awkwardly, yes, and grabbed a water bottle to get a drink. And he looked a little goofy doing it. And is it because he's so nervous his mouth is dry? That's what the collective was fascinated by. Not what he's talking about.
Oh, my God, he took a drink of water.
Exactly. So we're fascinated by, did he look like a fool in front of the class?
Who cares?
No, but that's where our collective is at. That's what Wolf Blitzer talked about. Will one drink of water ruin a whole career? Coming up next. Right? Our culture is fascinated with this emotional crap. Like high school, who sits with who at lunch? Who sits with who at lunch? That's on CNN. That's what's going on at the highest corridors of power. We are emotional midgets. I have a song, since you brought up songs. It's called Inside, We're All Still 3-Year-Olds.
Yeah, that's true. Guilty.
Inside, we're all still 3-year-olds. So, therefore, with relationships, especially romantic relationships, when you mix the fire down below, Bob Seger, I don't know if he sings that. When you mix the fire down below, yes, sex, power, chakra, moving energy, and if you actually have some love feelings for each other, it starts moving up your body, from your root chakra. If you dare touch and deal with that area, that's verboten. You shouldn't even think about that. But let's say you just do the genital chakra, fine. But both of them, holy cow, you'll be setting things up.
God, I love it when you touch my chakras. It is that time, though, and get damn good timing at that. We're going to take a short break, so hang on, everyone. We will be right back with Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out. The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with our special guest, St. Toby One Kenobi. He is a personal awakening coach and the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, which you can find at his website, soulcounseling.com, or you can go to courseofawakening.com. And if you have any questions or comments or just think we're total nuts and want to yell at us, take it out on us because you're angry, you're lonely and sad. And
on VD Day.
Yes. Feel free to give us a call. That's 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And if you'd like to join our happy family in the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. And I touch myself. Oh, yeah, we left off with you touching my chakras. Okay, here we go.
I have a prophecy.
Okay.
Usually this would end up at the end of this show, but God does things in random access memory. Spirit has everything is happening all at once, and it's just a random access quantum multiple universe. Here's the prophecy. All this stuff of the difficulty of relationships, what I just saw as I was listening to that song, to a party all over the world, you know, we are going in, it's going to get better and better and better as far as how we're doing relationships. We're going to learn not to have to own each other so much. We're going to learn just to enjoy each other. And I don't mean licentious sex. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, damn.
Well, yes. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm not talking about it in a fallen, shameful state. It's going to get easier and easier. We're going to be able to relax and not have all this drama, trauma, and karma around relationships. That's what's coming on Earth. This is the time. We've been stuck for thousands of years in this old way of ownership. You are mine. I own you, and I'm putting a chastity belt on you. If you're with anyone else, I'm going to send my divorce lawyer or actually kill you and stab you in the back or have you assassinated or poisoned. That's been the pattern we've had. That's changing. We're going to be able to love, to enjoy ourselves, to love. And I'm just seeing it. I could see that in the next 50, 100, 200 years, we're going to be reincarnating in much lighter, more enjoyable situations of not being jealous, not being so uptight, and just really knowing that I am a direct hookup, the ultimate hookup to God's source. And once you have the ultimate hookup to God's source inside yourself. Every teacher said it. Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is within. Buddha says, I'm doing this. I'm no different than you. Everyone says, once we have that, we no longer manically, defensively, fearfully, jealously want to own others. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. We're waking up from this, so it's getting better and better and better. It's going to be some explosive, feverish boiling out of these old ways, and no one has taught us how to, and it has to do with feelings of fear and losing and the owning the partners. We're going to learn it's really our fear, our disconnect from God. We have ersatz, which is a fancy German name meaning instead of, exchanging. When we've lost our own love for ourselves, for God, for Source, for I am that I am, then we, of course, desperately are looking for it in someone else, and that is never satisfying. It can never be satisfying unless you have the kingdom of heaven inside yourself first. Once you have that energy inside your chakras, once you touch your own chakras, girlfriend, and then let others touch your chakras, both work. Yes, both work, and there's total activation through sexuality, of course. Sexuality is the royal highway. It is the magic highway of reawakening these energies in us, which is why it is the most controlled, the most suppressed, the most conflicted, the most set the rockets off. That's what it's about, because it will set that off. Now, I left off on if you are with someone that you have some love and heart for, and you set off the sexuality, you're going to start moving all the energy in you, and that naturally is like a river starting back up, your Kundalini, your Holy Ghost. Your energy then starts wanting to clean. It's like when you let the water into the canals, it just pushes the old styrofoam cups downstream, right? It's just how the water works. So when you let the Kundalini, the sexual energy, activate and come up through your heart. Now, if you just suppress it down and you just do like swinger sex where you're just not feeling any heart, it's just stuck in the body, that's sexual disease territory, and, you know, it's just sort of like spinning in space, and it's not that fulfilling after a while. But if your heart is involved with it, it will start cleaning out your insecurities and your feelings and your worries. And so this is what happens in relationships. Relationships start in love and
end in murder.
End in That's true. Again, we've said, every police department knows, oh, it's a murder. Look to the boyfriend, look to the girlfriend, look to the wife, look to the husband. Statistically, I don't know, 3/4 of them all are committed by someone who loves them, you know. It's crazy, but that's just a symptom. We take the temperature. That is a measurement of how sick our society, our current system is. So learning to deal with these feelings, this energy that's coming up, because I love you, I'm having conflicted feelings of feeling scared of being left by you, and my own insecurities being projected on the partner. So learning to realize, wow, these are my feelings. Like Don Miguel Ruiz, one of his things, I think he says, don't take anything personally. That, you know, don't take anything personally. What they're feeling right now, as people, if you can start learning how with your partner go, oh, I'm having this feeling right now. I know it's probably from other lifetimes or my past relationship or my childhood insecurities. I know it, but you triggered it for me. It's not your fault. See, the ego wants to blame. You made me feel this way. It's your fault. The biggest bunch of horse hockey ever. It's bullshit. Okay? No one can make you feel anything. All they're doing is like the Toltec masters say, they're pushing on you with their energy something that triggers a wound that is already in you. Start owning your own personal wounds.
Oh, yeah.
This is a feeling I'm having. I feel inadequate. I feel you're not respecting me. Doesn't mean it's not true that that's happening, but start, if you can have with a partner and say, look, real relationships are meant to evolve the spirits, evolve both spirits. Usually now they end up in stalemates. That's why we end up with a stalemate. You've heard me say it before. This went stale. We can't take it any further. And the reality is, if the other cannot take another step, or they're not willing to open to the next thing, it's over. Or you have to be willing to say, well, we'll keep that there, but I'm going off exploring my new world. I can't be kept in the box with you. See? And so how to express feelings to each other is, first of all, recognize. The first step is you got to get real with how you really feel. What do you really feel about that? I don't know. Well, I think it should be, you're thinking. Get out of your head. Get down in your stomach. I think it should, no, don't think. How do you feel? How does it feel to you what just happened? Well, I feel kind of shaky and nervous. Okay, that's a feeling. I feel scared. That's a feeling. I feel angry. F off. Okay, that's a feeling. Most people don't even know how to feel feelings.
That's very true.
They don't know how to feel feelings. And that's on purpose in our system, because if you disconnect humans from their feelings, which is what we're all fascinated, stuck on with the Desperate Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever it is, we are fascinated with these effed up feelings. Because that's what we know we need to learn. But we've also never been taught this stuff. So the first step is, I want to get back in touch with how I really feel. What am I feeling? Not what I should say, not what I should feel. Now, you shouldn't say anything unless it's something nice. You shouldn't, you should just hold it all inside. That is death. That is death. That is dysfunction. That is, you will be washing your hands 3,000 times a day. You will be fixing the fringe obsessively, compulsively on your carpet. You'll be locking the door 50 times before you leave. That's the level of neuroses that come from not being in touch with your feelings. And take it to another level. It's Asperger's. It's autism. It's these emotional diseases that souls are willing to incarnate into to show mommy and daddy, if you do not get into your heart and your belly, I will not show up. I will retreat out and go into my own world. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm not holding back. I've had several autistic families that I've worked with.
Oh, darn it, Tobias. Hold on right there. It is that time again, apparently. So stay tuned, everyone. SoulCounseling.com or CourseOfAwakening.com is the website, and I can't wait to hear about those Asperger's when we come back after this short break. Stay tuned. Every burger I've ever had ends up on my ass. All right, stay tuned. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour already here tonight with Tobias Lars on SoulJourneysRadio.com. If you would like to join us, you can go to SoulJourneysRadio.com and click on Listen and Chat. And join our happy, demented little family. And if you'd like to chime in with us, the phone number is 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And Tobias, you're touching on some real big ones here, feelings. So how do you feel?
I feel great right now. You and I are having a good time laughing and in the moment and playing, so I feel really good.
Woo-hoo.
I feel fantastic. And I've worked at this for quite a while, 15 years or so, 20 years, of when God Source first showed me. He said, look, there's no way around. You have to incarnate. When you are issued, I was talking to Mark earlier, Mark Hausman, who's helping me do the Course of Awakening.
Mark!
Yes, by the way, we are doing another Course of Awakening, small, intimate one, less than 12 people at a house in Carson City, Nevada, down the hill from Lake Tahoe. If you want to come, it'll be March 8th, 9th, and 10th, a weekend, 3 weeks from now. And we've got a few spots left for that. If you want to go, it's $300 for the weekend. And basically we learn these techniques because the thing that's left, we know everything. We know it's screwed up. We know we got problems. What we need is real healing. That's what we need. So, anyway, as an aside.
Carson City, here we come.
Yeah. And anywhere else. I'd like, we're going to do more of these. I have been, the spiritual trips, I think we're just going to do the wolf and dolphin one probably. It feels like we'll do all of those, but it feels like it's shifting into doing the actual, giving tools to people. And we'll be doing those we'll combine it as well on the fun Hawaii trips and so forth.
Tools. So does that include sex toys?
Well, speak, Mark, that. He's got a thing he's working on. That's crazy. Now I was going to tell you something here in the break here. I could feel it again. Is it time? Spirit wants to say this. I could see very, very clearly that what has trapped us in horrible relationships. Imagine if you take two pit bulls and stick them in a pit that they can't get out of, and you keep poking them, kind of aggravating them. They're going to turn on each other, yes?
Probably.
If you keep poking them with a sharp stick or, annoying them or whatever, they're going to take out their irritation, aggression on each other. That is really kind of a description of what I call pit bull marriages.
Mm.
And we are not equipped with tools on how to deal with it, many of us. So it's been very difficult, and we've been very hurt. Our hearts have been very hurt that here's someone I fell in love with, and 7 years later, it's just divorce lawyer time, and I hate you, and it's restraining orders and stalker stuff or outright murder, Mm-hmm. It's really been really harsh for human beings. And the future, it's not going to be that way. There are whole planets in our galaxy where people do live communally. They don't own just one other person. They might have an intimate relationship with that one other person, but it's more of a family. We live as extended families, and it's safer because we don't put all that energy into each other. Like, you're the only one. You're supposed to be there for me, and you're supposed to listen to me all the time and be able to hear me. It's too much overwhelming pressure on just one other part,
Yeah.
That's a good thing, by the way. Don't expect your partner. Have we been guilty of this? Yes, I've been
Never.
guilty of this. Don't expect your partner to be able to hear all your feelings. They can't always handle all of it. You need to have some other partners, friends, that you can go. Like I've been realizing lately, I need some more male friends that I can just go literally hit golf balls with or do whatever. I'm thinking of playing soccer again just to hang out with some guys,
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to have these various aspects of ourselves. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all the pressure on your partner. You should be there for it. It's too much. So one thing I try to do with Joy, and it's a little overwhelming, I have to say, because, I'm the one into all this stuff, and Joy is kind of a natural heart person, but we've been so trained to not tell our feelings. Hide your feelings. We're taught this.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Johnny?
I don't know.
Right. Even when they're young, we're taught it's not safe. The child knows it's not safe. I'll tell a story. A little boy named Cedar used to live next to us at the house in Sedona when I spent a whole summer up there one time. And he'd come over, and we'd just play. He was 10 years old, and part of me is like, God, his parents are paranoid, We planted sunflower seeds together, and when the crab apples got done, we'd be like have crab apple fights and play, and we just sit and talk, And he's 10 years old. I'm like, cool, I can totally relate to a 10-year-old young man, little boy, I had a little fear, I have to tell you, because I was up there by myself, of people thinking it's weird. It's so much fear about pedophilia and all crap nowadays that it's so like you have to be on guard for everything. It used to be at least you could be affectionate. Teachers can't even hug kids in schools anymore, I guess.
Yeah. I have a friend that was actually fired from a job for hugging a child. The child that, loves him and went up and hugged him, like, hey, uncle. Yeah. Crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So Cedar and I were sitting there talking, and I was asking him, he said, and it came up his birth, how he was born, and I said, because he would talk about, I would ask him, well, do you sometimes look in the stars? And we were talking about UFOs, and then it went into early experiences. And he said, well, when I was born, I was talking to my mother when I was born, and then he started telling about, and then this is where I'm from, and then all of a sudden he caught himself. He's 10 years old. And he looked over at me and said, oh, but I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Aww.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's deep in us as kids, even when we're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that you have to not talk openly and honestly about certain things. And this eventually becomes, we even hide those things from ourselves. So the way home, it's a crucial first step. What am I really feeling? How do I really feel? And you got to start there. And if you don't know how to do it, how do you feel about that? Oh, I feel sad. That's a feeling. I feel upset. I feel angry. I feel confused. I feel scared. I feel shaky. And feelings. Where do you feel it in your body? You got to get into the feeling body as a first step. Then as a second step, these are my feelings, and I'm not just reacting and attacking whoever's closest to me when I feel it. I'm not kicking the cat. I'm not taking it out on my partner. We will do that sometimes. Third thing, forgiveness, blanket forgiveness. If you do, because you will sometimes react and be a jerk and nasty and take it out on each other, forgive yourself, and apologize quickly. Apologize as soon as you realize it. Don't withhold apologies.
Yeah.
Don't withhold apologies. Number 4. I was watching Frank Z. He's this great guy on the YouTube. He's really funny, and he had a really good set. You can tell he's been through a lot of therapy. By the way, the psychological alerts, good psychologists, good therapists have done massive, beautiful groundwork in how to teach people how to actually talk to each other without blaming each other. One of those things is to repeat. If you're in the trenches of learning to actually hear what the other person is saying, So again, reiterate. First step, get in touch with your real feelings. Stay with that step until you get it.
Yeah.
Second step, own your feelings. It is my feelings coming up in me. They're coming up in me. They didn't do it to me. They triggered it in me. It was already in me. And you know that's true because once you've healed something, you go, oh, I'm not bothered by that anymore. I used to be bothered by people who were like that, but now I'm not because you healed that part of yourself. First step, feel your real feelings. Second, own your feelings. These are my feelings. Don't blame game the other person. Third step, what was that one I just said too? Oh, apologize quickly. Like when you realize you've been an idiot or you're blaming or apologize quickly. But another 2A in there about feelings. When you talk to your partner or yourself, this is just a feeling. This is just a temporary energetic feeling. I am not fixed, stuck in it. This is just a feeling, just like those Tesla coils, the Jacob's ladder where the electricity goes up in the horror movie on the antenna and pops at the top. Kind of like your feeling is coming up like this energy, and if you don't stop it or plug it or suppress it, it will come out your mouth or out your head or out your body, out your fingertips, The angels are messing with me. I said, I'm not going to say that. They come out other places as well. That's all good, right? But you need to express it. Express. The word express means to exit by pressing it out of you. Allow it to flow through you, So allow your feelings to move up and out. I am feeling this. And sometimes, you joked about my heavy metal music stuff, that was therapy for me. I would put my feelings down there. I think I have a relationship song. Really pissed as a man. I'm really pissed at the
It's just another false bliss? Was that it?
No, that's a different song.
Oh, okay. Another pissed off relationship song.
Oh, that's not about a relationship. That's the relationship with God. The one about this is another Lucifer's kiss, another Satan's hiss, another false bliss. But I will make it through this. Yeah. Very sad, very deep, very heavy. You know why? Because that's what's inside our toxic soul tartar buildup inside our bodies that needs to be cleaned out. Be careful with spiritual methods that they are not denial avoidance mechanisms. We've tried them in Atlantis and in Egypt where we said, well, let's just cut that energy out of the auric field. Kind of the way we do now when we just cut things out of the body. Let's just remove your gallbladder. Well, monkeys, do you have any clue what finer energies that it is a gateway transporter into the other dimensions? These glandular bodies, the spleen, the pancreas, the gallbladder. No, let's just cut it out. Let's just yank the tonsils out. You know? Tried this with emotions and feelings and certain energy practices in Atlantis and Egypt and various other wizard techniques as well, including yogic techniques.
And we're trying it now.
And we are trying to bypass the heart and the emotional body. It doesn't work. You can't do quintuple bypass surgery. You end up being very weird and creepy like David Letterman. I like David Letterman, kinda, sort of, but let's be honest, it's a little creepy. Or you end up like Tom Cruise. Again, I'm naming names where you're little too positive. It's a little too programmed, Tom. Where are your actual, real feelings? What do you really feel? Not programmed success, worship, antiseptic, looking perfect, doing perfect, I am a perfect human being, you have become a success robot. We worship what the whole world, not picking on America, what the world is worshiping today is not love, not God, not source, not heart. It worships success. Get real.
Exactly. And then they define success by money. And toys.
Or celebrity. Money and celebrity.
Yeah.
And those are hollow idols. The hollow idol's eyes, right? Jim Morrison says that. The hollow idol's eyes. It's a hollow idol. And you worship it at your own risk. Good luck with that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. Been there, done that. First step, what are your real feelings? And some of those feelings you've got to accept are going to be really, really, really pissed off, rage, and terror.
Or maybe even painful and embarrassing to admit.
Yes. But unless you confess your sins one unto the other, first confess it to yourself. God knows about it anyway. Source knows. The source of the universe, the collective oneness, if you don't like the word God, the collective consciousness knows about all the stuff behind your little fake veils of hiding it and putting on a fake front and a nice, presentation face, pretending to be happy. Little girls, smile and look pretty, honey. Don't cry. Little girls, smile and look pretty, honey. You want to look pretty, don't you, honey? God likes little girls who smile and look pretty, honey. You want God. You don't want to disappoint God, do you, honey? That does to the 3, 4, 5-year-old little beautiful little girl.
Yeah.
Boys don't cry. Hey, Tommy, boys don't cry. God doesn't like boys that cry.
Yeah, emotions are a sign of weakness.
And then, so the real strength, and we've talked about this before. So learning, the first step, in touch with your feelings. Some other things, so we're doing that. It's a key thing. You cannot bypass this step. When you are issued a body in coming into incarnation, infleshation on earth. I was talking to somebody today, Mark again, we had a nice long conversation, about, have you ever seen a human being that floats by, that they are just a head and a throat? Like they're hovering above the ground, come by and they're just a head and a throat. Have you ever seen a human like that? They're hovering, floating through the air. Has anyone ever seen that? I haven't, not a physical one. I've never seen a human being that is just like the navel down. Just they're walking around and they're just sexual, root chakra and feelings. That's all they are. Have you ever seen a human being like that? I haven't. When you come to Earth, you get issued all 7 chakras.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tobias, you're cutting out here. I guess that means it is that time. So hang on, everyone. Got to take a short break. Tobias Lars, soulcounseling.com is the website. Stay tuned, souljourneysradio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotics.
Freedom.
Oh, yes. I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
That's right, me too. I was just watching Toby grabbing his crotch here during the break. Woohoo! And I know you're all waiting for that moment as well. So please continue.
Unmute, must protect myself. Unmute, must protect myself. Unmute. Christy and I were just in the break. We're getting a little more real here. It's like we have to go gently. We were just talking about Eckhart Tolle and Gandhi. Mm-hmm. Eckhart Tolle and Gandhi not being able to grab their crotches in public. They would not make it as rap stars. We cannot handle it because we are still dividing ourselves into spiritual and physical beings. And so I was talking about, I have not seen floating heads, and I've not just seen legs and crotches walking around on Earth. When you get a human body, you get issued all 7 chakras. And to be a healthy, functioning human, this is what we're going to do in the advanced teaching course seminar that's going to be called, it is called the Full Spectrum Humans, right? We're going to be doing those as well, the Full Spectrum Human. We're not, no full-on sex, sacred intimacy or stuff. Could happen, but only for those that are ready and for all of us that are ready. This is a very tender area. You move gently towards this stuff. The reawakening is very scary. It's very scary to feel your feelings. It's very scary to get honest. Men would rather die as journalists on the field in the Golan Heights than actually feel their feelings. I never forget hearing that story of the man who looked at his cameraman as he had been shot at the Golan Heights. He was an American reporter, and he said, "Will this look stupid on camera as he's dying? As he's dying. As he's dying. Is this bad?" Because we're more concerned with how it looks than what is real, the real human feelings. So, anyway, so we were talking about the 7 chakras is what you are issued. When you receive your human body here on incarnation, when you show up, you have all 7 energy centers from your root chakra, which is your masticating, the chewing of the energies down your sciatic. Why is there so much restless leg syndrome, sciatic nerve problems? Because our root chakras are the most judged thing on the planet. Your ass, H-O-L-E, is the most judged thing on the planet. But it was issued to you by God, by love. And natural animals, I watched Miley have her puppies. The first month, she is licking their potties and their anuses and cleaning them all the time for a month, all 8 puppies. She has no concept of what's good or evil. Oh, they're just animals. They're not civilized. No, they are natural. They are natural. Now, I'm saying, with us as human beings, all parts of us are holy. If therefore thy eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. What does that mean? The whole body shall be full of that. That doesn't mean everything except your rectum. It doesn't mean everything is light and honorable in God's sight except your genitals and your ass. And I'm mentioning those two because those are the most judged things.
Totally true.
Yeah. So in order for us to become wholly integrated, whole beings again, all all 7 cylinders. If you have a car that runs on 7 cylinders, no such engine, by the way. There was a 5-cylinder, but there might be a 7 one. What if it only runs on 2 cylinders? Is that going to be a nice, smooth ride? Of course not. Well, most people are only running on 2 or 3 chakras. We're not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is a huge thing. So with relationships, for example, how this might translate to relationships would be, okay, I am a human being learning. I am not fully firing yet. I am not fully evolved. I am not a bodhisattva yet, but I am headed in that direction. I accept, I am patient, I forgive myself. I'm going to be wacky at times. You are learning too, my beloved partner, my sweetheart. Let's learn together like little kids. We're going to screw up. We're going to get scared. I'm going to project on you. I forgive you. I forgive me. We're going to mess up. We're playing with clay. The clay is us. The clay is our beings, our emotional bodies, our feelings, our physical bodies, our personalities, our thoughts. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to be mean to you at times. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to be jealous. But I want to confess this, my sins. All that means is get real. It's what the Gospel of Thomas, which, by the way, obviously was not in the Bible, because Thomas was a little bit more bright. He was the educated one. He wanted to know the details of the actual practices. But the one statement that's coming out from the Gospel of Thomas, which I love paraphrasing here, that which is within you, if you let it out, if you get it out of you, it will save you. But if you hold it within you, it will destroy you. That which is within you, if you bring it out of you, it will be your salvation and your healing. But if you keep it suppressed inside you, it will be your destruction. That means become ye innocent. Become ye as little kids. Get real. Confess your sins. Be honest with each other. Be transparent. Now, I know I'm a crazy guy on the internet here, and sometimes people, because my life 20 years ago, I said, oh, that's it, I'm going to be transparent. Forget it. What is hide? So I push everything out there, but occasionally, of course, people I realize, oh, no, I can't put that on Facebook, or I'll give you an example. Here's a study.
Politically correct and open.
For example, Rupert Sheldrake, I love him as a scientist, honestly speaking of morphic fields. He's written a book called The Science Delusion. And he words it so beautifully about science is a dogma, just like religious dogma. Their science has this dogma. For example, one of the holy 10 commandments of science is, it's a material universe. There is no such thing as spirit.
Yeah.
That is a dogmatic one of their commandments. It's only material. There is no such thing as spirit. That is one of their 10 commandments in scientism.
Yeah.
It's just as dogmatic as some crazy religious nut jobs. It's no different.
Certainly.
Yeah. And there was something he said that I wanted to tap back into, but I forgot. Yeah, well, it's gone.
You said if you rub my lotion all over your body, you'll enjoy feeling your chakras.
Exactly. Maybe, yes. There you go, Rupert. Feel it. There you go. Feel it. Good. And here's the beautiful thing about all this. At first, you'll be very scared. At first, you'll feel out of your security, your comfort zones. But this is the only way home. It's the only way home to go through the body, through your feelings, to start learning to have relationship with the world around you. And like I prophesied in the last segment or two, or a couple ago, I see it. We are going to have so much fun on Earth. Right now we're in the purging phase. This is like in an ayahuasca ceremony. This is the part where you're throwing up and you're having massive projectile vomiting and diarrhea, and your body is cleaning out. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what's going on Earth right now. The more comfortable we can get with, we have these suppressed, held back feelings. And it's scary. I know it's scary. It's so risky to say to someone. So here's what you can do as well. When you say something to someone that you know might trigger them, to your partner in your relationship, I love you, and I really love you, and what I'm about to say, I don't want to hurt you with it, but I'm trying to be honest, and I'm not very good at it, and I really would like us to grow and heal. But I think that sometimes it feels like you don't listen to me. You are nicer to other people than you are to me, and that hurts me. And I'm just saying my feeling right now. I don't want to be right necessarily. I just want to be able to say this. And I do love you. Or if you say something personal to them, you yak a lot. You talk a lot sometimes on just automatic programs, like you're disconnected and just running some program. I love you. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to hurt you by saying that. So it's what you can call it in a caring sandwich. Put it in a caring sandwich. You begin it with, I care about you, I love you, give them the meat of what you're going to say, and end with, I love you, and I'm only saying this because I want us to grow. Put it in a love sandwich.
I like that.
In a love sandwich. I'm stealing some of this from psychology. See, psychology has done great groundwork with this stuff. The other one that we were going to talk about, number 6 or 7, was, and I'm borrowing, and Frank Z on the internet, I love him, he's so funny with it. He inspired me to do this, but it's obviously from psychological things. Psychology has done a really good job. Another thing is to learn to actually hear what the other person is saying.
What?
Yeah. Bitch, shut up and listen to me. That's not the approach sometimes, right?
That's true.
And, yeah. So you can. Sometimes it is. I'm being very incorrect. Sometimes that's what needs to be said. I know that's spiritually incorrect, but sometimes one of you needs to yell at the other person and go, snap the F out of it. I love you and I am here. I am not the enemy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it needs to be said forcefully because we're almost like a hyperventilating person caught in our stuff, and someone needs to slap us a little and breathe in the bag, shut up, you're fine, you're here now. Mm-hmm. But another thing is to repeat slow it down. Because once you open it, you've got so much backed up soul tartar, relationship tartar buildup, you start dumping. No dumping on the other person. No, like, you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and by the way, you do this. You don't dump. You do one thing at a time. No dumping. Like no puking all of it at once just to get that. If that happens, you can realize, hey, we're both just dumping it right now. We're just evacuating, dumping out stuff. There's a lot of heat here, a lot of emotions coming out. That's okay. But you prefer not to do it. If it happens, forgive that it happens. One thing at a time. Listen to the other person and repeat what they said. This is psychology, basic therapy. Very good techniques. I heard you say that you feel you can't count on me because I say I'm going to call you and I don't. And then they say, yep, that's what I said. Okay. Let me repeat it one more time. I heard you say you feel you can't count on me because when I say I'm going to call, I don't. Okay? And without instantly trying to defend, try to feel it. Now, it's awesome when the one person saying it is saying it. Try to speak without offending and listen without defending. To speak without offending and to listen without defending. That's the ideal. Not always able to do that. But we're learning. This is a technique. First time you learned to ride a bike, you had to listen 5 to 10 times. Well, is it worth trying to learn some of these methods to actually save a relationship that you want to save? Is it worth it? No, I don't want to do it. I just want to fight. Well, then, for that, enjoy paying your divorce lawyer. Bye. I want to work with someone that wants to learn. Get out of my face.
Absolutely. Tobias, I see we have a caller on the line, but we're going to break in about 90 seconds. So if you don't mind hanging on, we'll get to you after this break coming up here. But there is a question in the chat that reads, what do you do if you're the one that tends to shy away from arguments or confrontations?
Here's another one, number 7, truth-telling. Tell your truth in feeling and say it. You can say it. For example, one technique is to say, I'm shying away. I don't want to argue because it feels dangerous. It might escalate and nothing good may come of it. That's my feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke up and just said what you felt. I don't want to argue. I'm shying away. I don't want to engage because I'm feeling it's dangerous. It might escalate and then nothing good comes of it. It doesn't help anyway. Those are the feelings I have. That's why I'm scared to engage and actually speak. Truth-telling. Say exactly what you're feeling. Your weakness, your thing. Right now I'm feeling really, really sad and hopeless about our whole relationship. That's an honest, truth-telling feeling in the moment. So you can just say, I tend to shy away from this because I don't even know why. I just do. That's the beginning right there. Just say it.
Yeah, there you go.
Say it. Truth in the moment. In the moment truth. Right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I can't do it anymore. That's another good thing, by the way. Number 9 or 8. Time out. Just, if it escalates, just take a time out. We got to take a time out. And either person can say, I need a time out. That could be 15 seconds, 15 minutes, 15 years, 15 lifetimes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right? Honor that. Yeah.
Definitely. Good advice there.
Some ground rules. Another one that therapists use is no physical violence, you know? Like no actual hitting, no actual shoving or pushing. And that goes.
Go Greek for the night and break a few plates, but yeah.
You can make up the rules. If you break it, you fix it. You break it, you fix it. You know?
That's a good rule.
You know, I'm not cleaning up, you throwing the plates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It will be there in the morning. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Make some ground rules when you're in a non-throwing plate place. Okay. If the shoving and the pushing happens, yeah, I'm taking it all the way to that. Forgive it. See, because if you say the one thing you can't do, then the little child in you goes, I want to go in the cookie jar because Mommy and Daddy said I couldn't. Okay?
That's true.
And women, if you shove and push and slap and hit your men, no. Anyway, that's a big topic right there.
Yeah. Hey, I can hear you this great.
If you do that, women, your man may have to contain you.
Yeah.
So rule has to be both ways. No, if you're going to make the rules, oh, you did do that, then you need to change the rules.
Yeah, you can't be one of those women that, well, I'm a woman, so I can punch you and you can't touch me. I mean, that's just garbage. But it is that time. We got to take a short...
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotic.
Freedom
Oh, yes, I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight. This is the last segment. Which
Really?
Toby went. I know, that went fast.
Amazing.
But
You don't stop calling me Toby, St. Toby-Wan Kenobi. I'm High Priestess of the Vulva is what I'm going to start calling you, okay? Unless you like it. If you like it, I'm going to come up with something else.
All right, well, I'd spank you, but you like that too much, so,
Yes.
yeah. So are you saying that if I quit calling you that, you'll quit interrupting me?
Yes. No, I can't. See, notice how we're negotiating here. That's good, by the way, too. That's good, by the way, too.
Yeah. We did that. I'm thinking of the show we did last year, Fun and Ego Games in Planet Earth, I think was the title. It was about a year ago, and yeah, we're kind of going through that. Well, there we actually demonstrated a kind of mock fight or something that does happen. But, yeah, it's good to revisit this, and I won't kick your butt this time. So, yeah, and really good point, because, breaking the rules, and you brought up the women thing, and women, if you're going to, be punching or get violent with your man, I mean, really, it's just ridiculous. I know a few people that think that it's okay. Well, I'm a woman. He can't touch me. Really? Okay, self-defense is self-defense, and it doesn't matter who's, so don't be crying when he holds you down or anything else like that if you want to act all, like a banshee and stuff. Like I said, go Greek, get some ouzo, start dancing, and break some plates.
There you go. And the ground rules are what they are between you and the person, but respect them. In other words, if you decide absolutely no physicality, and other people are like, well, it's not that big a deal to us, that if you both decide that, that's up to you. But it can't be one person doing it to the other.
Yeah.
It's like an agreement, respect of souls. Because in the sense, there's, guys, as little kids and stuff, and they're, young men, you beat each other up, and it's not that big a deal, I mean, you fight.
Guys are crazy. I just have to tell you, I mean, I know people that, like, they literally would duke it out. And I'm talking, like, bloody faces, skin removed, and, broken bones. And when they're done, they look at each other, they start laughing, shake each other's hand, give each other a hug, and go to being best friends.
Yeah, and that is a truth we need to hear, because...
What the heck?
when I play with Bentley, my dog, if I let him go to the level where he'll break the skin and draw blood, some people go, that's absolutely wrong. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It is what him and I are agreeing to.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Mutuality, mutual agreement. That the only thing that is not okay in my book, in a sense, is overpowering lesser powerful spirits. Whether that's by fancy talk or physically overpowering them or manipulating them or using, energy magic on people to control them, mind control them, that's something I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Mutuality, which means I want you to hit me, that's totally, that's just an experience, because we're not bodies, we're eternal souls. So all this namby-pambiness, this whole thing, if it saves one life, it's worth it. Shut up. Go home. If that was true, we should outlaw cars, because 36,000 people a year die in cars.
Yeah, or outlaw doctors.
Or outlaw doctors, because 200...
Or military.
Cops. There you go. Well, we should outlaw guns instantly from that one, too, as well, right?
Outlaw judges.
Yeah, outlaw... More people die from aspirin, I think, or... anyway, exactly. Marijuana would not get outlawed because it doesn't kill people.
Never killed anyone.
Amazing. We're going to get truer and truer with all this stuff. So some of these ideas of learning to be real with energy with your partner, you ever notice, this is why some couples, after they fight, they have great sex. We call it make-up sex.
Yeah.
Why? Because you released some pent-up junk in the trunk, got some stuff moving, and now you're loose and enjoying, and the love can come back, and the sex, you can, Now, a challenge...
Oh, man, I need a good fight. I really need a good fight. Any volunteers? I won't punch, I promise. I don't hit. I just want a good fight.
Man, both of those times I thought you were going to say something else. But...
Yeah, same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, we lost a caller. We must have scared him.
We're giving you guys a preview of the Christie and Tobias show tonight. A little more loose, a little more fun, a little more relaxed, a little more irreverent. But that's what we're wanting now. We want the full embodiment. You know it's PBS. Hi, this is National Public Radio. We're going to be discussing the flavors of salt. You know that thing? We don't want that.
The least spells Vireo. It eats worms every morning at 5 o'clock.
Yes. we want the full spectrum and some practical advice, like we did tonight. There were 7 or 8 things that we talked about that can be very helpful in partnerships, And like I said, the future is beautiful. The future is beautiful. The future is, Christie and I are feeling a little just comfortable in our bodies tonight. I can feel it in you, Christie. And doesn't it feel good?
It feels great, but I want to frickin' fight. I need to fight. I really need to fight. Oh.
Now, hear this one, too. On that was, there is energy fighting as well. You don't have to have it physical. I want it physical. Okay, all right. I've been spending all this time making these delicious, delectable, smelly good, soft, silky lotions. It's got to be physical. All right. Yeah, okay. Physical. Well, I feel good. Then be I touch myself. Self-love, number 10. Yes. Ooh, baby. Self-love. Self-love. Am I loving myself? Am I enjoying making myself pretty and feeling good about myself? Absolutely. If the self-love goes away, then the other is not going to love you as much either. That's definitely a huge key, of course. And absolutely. Yeah. Will you fight with me? I thought we were. Well, no, not really. No. No, I know. What's the difference? What's the difference? See, that would be fun. That would be funny. Now get a video camera and get out on the street and just you walking up to people as a woman. It's a little safer and more fun. You go up to people and go, "Would you fight with me?" That would be funny. Random people on the street. Yeah, and just do it sweetly in the way you did it, and just watch their reaction. That beautiful reaction of 2 seconds of what? What are you talking about? And just. That'd be a funny segment. That'd be a real fun segment. That would. That's coming up on the Christie and Tobias show. Absolutely. So, I want to do that show. I do. Once a week or twice a week, you and I talk about what's been going on that week. News stuff, our stuff, guests. I'd love it, I want to say to Joy, I'm going to tell her, if she's listening, my Valentine. I love you, Joy. My sweetheart. That we are learning more and more, and I allow things to change and shift in our relationship into the next phases that it is. And I do miss her. I miss you, Joy. And I hope the puppy is great, and I hope you're okay. And I love you, and I will see you tomorrow night. Aww. Oh, wait a minute. What? She's not your Valentine tonight? Yes, she's my... Well, it's kind of late, so we're planning it for tomorrow. That's another thing, by the way. Don't follow what others tell you to. Okay, now we're going to fight. What's up with that? What's up with what? It's Valentine's Day. It's VD. Aren't you supposed to be hanging out and, VDing? What are you doing? Yes, don't follow the rules is another suggestion. Do your own thing. The sex will be better if it's not proscribed by certain ways of how it should look, and so will your romance. So, yeah, Joy and I are saying, no, we'll do it tomorrow night. Oh, screw you all. You do it Thursday. We're going to have all the fun on Friday. All right, that sounds good. Okay. Well, you know what? If you would like to join us for our single Skype party after the show in about 30 minutes. This invite is for everyone. It is posted on Facebook. I think you can just look up, Will You Be My Valentine? And, we're just going to hang out. No bitching, no sobbing, no, blaming or gender bashing or anything like that. But we are going to have a little Skype party. So you can just add me on Skype and about 30 minutes. So I love you too, Tobias. Love you. And Thank Joy. You. Thank you. Thank you for just sharing your gentle, loving, warm, psychotic wisdom with us here.
And thank you all for being here tonight. This was super fun. Have an awesome weekend. Happy frickin' V-Day. Don't catch any VDs today. Or, hey, I suppose you can schedule a holistic health coaching session with me at mytrueessence.net. We'll see you next week, y'all. Blessings and love. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.